pas une... je dis ça parce que, voyons, on a beaucoup de jeunes défenseurs, c'est un peu de ça que je dis. D'un autre côté, je suis pas surpris parce que notre game à 5, notre game à 5 est bonne. Fait que je pense que ça aide les jeunes défenseurs à s'impliquer et à produire.
Maintenant que tu parles de jeunes défenseurs qui s'impliquent, Jayden Struble, c'en est un. Il a 2 buts dernièrement, mais même dans ses premiers matchs, il n'hésitait pas à foncer en zone adverse.
Ouais, non,
historiquement, par contre, il n'y a jamais eu de gros chiffres offensifs. Est-ce que c'est une petite surprise de le voir contribuer à l'attaque?
Oui, un petit peu, mais des fois aussi, c'est contexte. Faut que tu fasses attention des fois de mettre un joueur d'une boîte quand il est jeune. Tu ne sais pas comment il a été demandé à jouer. Tu ne sais pas c'était quoi ses responsabilités. Tu n'es pas sûr exactement de son plafond. Qu'est-ce qu'il est capable d'absorber. Des fois, tu débloques quelque chose ici, puis là, tout d'un coup, il amène ça à une autre place. Fait qu'il faut que tu fasses attention de mettre un jeune d'une boîte. Puis je pense qu'on est bon, je trouve, comme organisation, de faire attention à ça pour voir comment loin l'athlète peut aller, peut-être. Y a-t-il un autre niveau? Puis jusqu'à date, je trouve que Struble nous a montré un autre niveau. Fait que c'est encourageant.
Est-ce que c'était dur d'oublier ce que tu avais vu de lui à l'université?
Je n'avais pas vu assez. Je n'avais pas vu assez pour que ça soit dur.
Est-ce que son plafond, il t'intrigue?
Bien, tout jeune plafond m'intrigue, je pense. Je te dirais que oui.
Martin, tu as souvent répété dans les dernières semaines que tu étais heureux de la progression de ton équipe.
Puis plus qu'il fait mieux ça, plus qu'il va toucher la rondelle plus qu'il va aider les 4 autres sur la glace à récupérer la rondelle. Fait que peut-être qu'il ne touchera pas sa première touche, mais ça va être la 3e, 4e, puis des fois, c'est elle qui est dangereuse. Fait que c'est important aussi que tu es sur la glace sans la rondelle, puis c'est quoi ta tâche. Fait que, comme jeune joueur, c'est quelque chose qu'il faut t'apprendre dans cette ligue-là, puis c'est ça qu'il fait.
Ça fait 2 fois que tu lui donnes des petites promotions au niveau des trios, puis il est retourné ensuite sur la 4e. C'est peut-être circonstanciel, mais est-ce que ce gars-là, vous êtes en attente qu'il se mette le pied dans la porte puis qu'il vous force à le laisser là?
Bien, c'est sûr, tu veux toujours quelqu'un qui te force à le laisser là, puis c'est pas nécessairement... marquer des buts, ça fait partie de ça. Marquer des buts, ça fait partie de ça. Mais c'est la game en général. C'est sans la rondelle et avec la rondelle.
Détail niaiseux, on le voit souvent comme shooter au début des entraînements sur les gardiens. C'est-tu parce que justement il y a une assez bonne shot de qualité pour ça ou juste parce qu'il est réservé?
Je pense que c'est Eric Raymond qui le prend.
I want to ask you to search your memory a little bit because it's back to training camp. But there was a certain point, if you agree, that Emil Heineman kind of flipped the switch where he looked a lot less hesitant. What were the elements in his game that you think could lend to him being a contributor to this lineup?
Well, I think it's his pace, it's his skating, it's his physicality, and I think when he showed that, I felt like probably second part of the camp, his game kind of took off a little bit. To me, it's that. He's got to play with pace and being physical and winning battles. And obviously, he's a good shooter, but a lot has to happen before you can take a shot, And to me, it's that.
He started the camp on a line with Caulfield and Suzuki because obviously those elements were obvious to see that perhaps they could come out sooner. What do you think he can take from that experience that can lend well to him capitalizing on a chance if he gets one come tomorrow?
Well, I think whenever you get reps, with guys like that, I think you get more comfortable. I think it's not uncharted territory once you have that opportunity. So for me, it's that. It's those reps, whether they were good or bad. Like it doesn't matter. It's just it's reps and it's learning and stuff. And I think that's every young guy as we put them in a situation where they have an opportunity to learn, whether it goes good or goes bad.
Are you using him tomorrow?
I don't know yet.
Are there certain players that I asked you the other day about Struble having to play with limited ice time and how well he's doing, but are there certain players where you have to be cognizant that giving them too much ice time will make their game less efficient?
Yeah, there's definitely guys that you want to keep in a certain window, but not to say that one night that, listen, he's forcing your hand to get outside the window, and there's nights that he's forcing your hand to not be in that window, you know. So, you know, we have an understanding what every player kind of overall can maximize his output out there, and we're trying to keep that in mind. But I love when players force me out of their window.
Does Ullinen have a window like that, you think?
What's that?
Does Ullinen have a window like that?
I don't think he has a window yet. You know, I'm not sure if he's, you know, where he's efficient. You know, is it 12 to 15? Is it 15 to 18? My guess is, you know, it'd be probably 15 to 18 minutes. You know, as an offensive guy, but there's a lot of things that he has to do to earn that window.
Marty, as this rebuild process continues, I'm just wondering, how has your relationship with Kent developed or maybe changed since when you first took over the job? I imagine you guys talk every day.
Oh yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it hasn't changed, you know. I mean, I think we're in constant communication. We talk about the game, we talk about players, and we actually talk about a lot of other stuff, you know, to stay sane, so to speak. But no, the relationship is the same. We're both after the same thing, and it's just to put the Canadiens in a really good spot where everybody's, you know, is proud of that team. And I know that some of the stuff that we do, decision we make, has a big impact on everything. So we take our job seriously, and we're still having fun doing it together.
You've dealt with a lot of GMs as a player. What do you think are Kent's strongest qualities as a GM?
He's a good communicator. He's pretty funny. But he's a go-getter. You know, Kent's a go-getter.
Il dit lui-même que c'est un gars qui peut être assez intense, puis je pense que toi aussi, y a tout ça dans vos discussions, de l'intensité et tout ça? Je parle d'intensité positive. Là.
Oui, il y a toujours, des fois, c'est ça, il y a de l'émotion, ça fait partie de ça. Tu sais, puis ça prend ça. Mais on essaie toujours de prendre des décisions rationnelles, pas émotionnelles.
Merci, Martin.
OK, merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Northeastern, it was not something that you were able to show up. Was it because of the role they were giving you, or?
You know, I don't know. It's there's a lot to go with it. I think I'm just in a better place, you know, physically, mentally, you know, everything like that goes along with it. So I think I just put myself in a better spot to succeed.
Okay.
Yep.
What in the coaches want here that allows you to maybe express yourself offensively? Also, not just you, but all the defense skills.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty open. Like, I mean, especially on the controlled breakouts and stuff when you're carrying the puck up. You know, he lets us. We definitely have our routes, but he wants us to play hockey. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's just as long as you're playing smart and hard, I think you can kind of, you know, be a little bit more creative. So it's nice.
What was the feeling when you're getting your first goal and it's against Devin Levi?
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, even pre-game skate, I made a joke to him like, I'm going to score my first against you, and so it was just crazy how it worked out like that. But I mean, just happy to see him having the success he's having too, and yeah, it was a special night for sure.
Is it harder than people might think to score goals in the NCAA?
Yeah, I mean, like I said too, it comes with, you know, I'm skating a lot better. So, you know, when you're skating better and you're getting up in the right spots, I mean, pucks kind of find you more. But yeah, I mean, I'd say it's all right. It was hard, obviously, for me. I mean, I got one goal last year, so yeah.
Last year, after a call-up, don't remember the name of the guy, but he told us I was so comfortable on the ice because Marty told me, don't play to please me. Play your game, make mistake, I don't mind. So do you feel you have the same kind of green light? Does he have the same kind of speech with you?
Yeah, I mean, it just definitely just being like, you know, just don't think too much. You know, I think it's easy to overthink when you're called up, and you know, just try to do too much. You know, he just said, you know, play to yourself. You know, play your game, and that's kind of just what I've been doing and trying to play my game to the best of my ability. And you know, so far it's given me some success.
Coach was saying that maybe you got put in a box, that people, because of your numbers in the NCAA, thought you wouldn't bring this offense. Do you feel the same perception?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm just playing hockey, to be honest. Like, yeah, like there's no, I don't feel like any outside pressure or any, you know, kind of like anything skewing me any different way. Yeah, I'm really focused on just like my day to day, just bringing it every day and just doing what I can to, you know, I've said it before, like earn the next shift. So that's all I've been thinking about.
I look back at the interview when you were drafted, and Trevor Timmons compared you to Charlie McAvoy. Still feel that you couldn't break that off.
Yeah, I mean.
Not really happy with the start of it for sure. I think I talked to Adam after like half the camp, and just like I'm not where I want to perform out there, and just talked to him and basically just stop thinking too much and just playing, be aggressive, use my strength more. So that was kind of like a turning point the last 2 weeks, I think, of the camp, and really it did a difference. Unfortunately, I wanted to keep going, but the injury stopped kind of right away after camp there. So that was kind of a bummer, obviously, but I feel like I'm in a good spot now. I feel I got back pretty quick, so I'm positive.
Just to have had that experience, that if you get a chance now, you think there will be less thinking and more just playing?
Yeah, you gotta learn from that for sure, yeah, I know. Just go out there and play. It's not much to think of. It's just hockey actually, so you don't have to think about too much. Just making the play and just stay in the moment.
How unlucky was that injury? I mean, that was an insane thing to have happen.
Yeah, it's not much you can do. It's a little unfortunate situation. That's about it.
Have we seen yet the player that you could become in the National Hockey League? I mean, regarding, are you a more defensive, more offensive player? You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm a 200-foot player for sure. I can play, but I'm still in the like development part of my career, and just keep getting better. I'm having a lot to learn still, and right now just trying to take in as much as possible and trying to help the team.
At this point, December 2023, what's your best assets now?
My skating and my shooting for sure, and I've always been really aggressive out there, win battles. So that's a huge deal in the game, where you still have to develop a lot of things, because there is strong guys out there that you have to be able to protect the puck and yourself. So it's a lot to learn.
Regarding these assets, do you think you can help the power play in the NHL?
I mean, they have a lot of skilled guys. We'll see if I be out there. I'll obviously want to try to help, but I feel like we'll see. It depends on the situation for sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Like no moment's too big for him, and I think my favorite part is if he makes a mistake, the next shift it's not snowballing. He's really good at leaving it there and keeping a calm mind, and he's just on to the next shift. He defends hard, really good skater. I love playing with him. Sums it up.
30% of the goals have come from the defense. What in the concepts that Marty teaches allows you guys to get goals?
Yeah, it's been a good year offensively from the blue line, like you said. I think a lot of it, if I'm going to say personally, comes from practices. Like we get a lot of puck touches in all situations in practice. I know other teams that I've been on, like as a D-man, you're kind of just taking the rush, breaking plays up and breaking pucks out, but there's a big emphasis in our practices and not like kind of like positionless hockey in practice, I would say, and so we get a lot of practice in different areas of the ice. I think that's directly translating to the games.
Are you surprised by the proportion of goals that are coming from defensemen?
I'm going to say no and just say I have a lot of confidence. No, but yeah, it's a little surprising, I would say, I guess. But I also know how good some of these guys back here are and how much offense they can bring. So we just have a lot of really good skaters and offensive players on the back end. So I got a lot of confidence in them.
Is there a friendly competition with the forwards?
No, we haven't brought it up yet. I'm sure maybe between the D there'll be some friendly competition, but no, we haven't brought it up to the forwards quite yet. Maybe we should.
Joe, as a team compared to last year, where do you see the biggest improvement collectively?
It's a good question. If I were to say a specific thing on the ice, like maybe the forecheck, I feel like our forecheck lately, we've really been on teams, making it hard to play against, and that style of hockey is what, if we can keep building on that, will help us get wins consistently, like making it really hard to be a team that's really hard to play against, take away their space, and that helps us play in the O-zone more. So I would say, yeah, the forecheck and really hunting, being on top of teams has been great this year.
Forecheck is important, especially for a team based on speed, right?
Exactly. We have a lot of speed, use our speed to close the other team's space, to feel like they're playing a team where, wow, they can't breathe. Like every time they got it in their D zone, there's someone on top of them. And if we can be that team that's hard to play against, I think that's going to be dangerous. And we have the skill that we can capitalize on some of those chances that we create off the forecheck.
Johnathan, how big is the challenge at this level to draw a line when it's time and when it's not the time to jump in?
Offensively, kind of. Yeah, that's something that everyone's got to learn. And I know myself, I'm going to err on the side of probably not jumping in as much as a more defensive guy. But yeah, that's a big point of emphasis. We want to bring offense from the blue line without jeopardizing any defense. And there is a time and a way to do that. And you can be, we can be really effective doing that. But yeah, you're right. There's a time where you don't want to be taking too many risks. I know me, myself, I'm not as good of a skater as, let's say, Ghouls, Math. Like, those guys can maybe take a little more risk because they can cover for themselves a little better. So it's about knowing yourself individually. And I think a lot of that just comes with time, comes with experience, and the more you play, the more you'll realize.
And regarding that, is it important to know what your partner will do?
Yeah, true, yeah.
If you decide to jump in.
Exactly, and I think you have to have that relationship with your partner where when he's going to have your back, and as me, the more defensive guy, when I should hang back, when I should kind of take care of the downside a little more, as Marty likes to say.
Merci.